Welcome to today's 60-second photo edit using the Bold and Bright Toolkit, which is 10 steps and 60 seconds to give you eye-popping photo edits that will get you more clients, even if it's your first time using Lightroom. Click the link in the description to download the 60-second workflow guide where I reveal all the strategies you can implement today to cut your editing time down by 90%. Let's go! Alright, so let's start at the top here. So you can see this is a raw photo right out of camera. ARW file from my Sony a7 III, taken with the Sigma 85mm lens, and you can see the settings right here for those that are curious. Okay, so let's start at step number 1 right here. So I'm going to choose my first base layer. So we've got 3 base layers here. We've got one for off-camera flash, one for natural light, and one for black and white. I want this image to be color, and I used off-camera flash, so I'm going to choose the OCF layer. Lock that in right there. Next step, we have these preset color temperatures. These are pretty nice if you're looking for just a quick color temperature setting. I like to go down and use this step 2, the next step here right here, which is the precision color temperature. And what I've done is I've created like a little scale here where you can just mouse over and see which settings look the best. So for me, I like this a little bit on the cooler side. So I'm gonna lock this in at 4500. Next is the tint adjustment, and you just do the same thing as you did with the color temperature. Just kind of mouse over and see which ones you like the best. So for me, I'm gonna lock in magenta right here, magenta +3, and then same thing with exposure. I mean, just go right down the list here. That looks a little bit too bright. Here, let's lock that in right there. Okay, highlight adjustment is next. All right, first you got the highlights, you're suppressing the highlights, and then this is the resets, and then here you're enhancing the highlights. So see, that's a little bit too bright. I'm gonna bring the highlights probably all the way down right here to -3. Okay, next is the shadow adjustment. So first we have enhancing shadows and then deepening the shadows. So this, I like to enhance the shadows a little bit more on here. And you can see even just by step 6 right here, the image is really starting to come to life. Okay, and then sharpness. So for anything with portraits, with people in them, I recommend just doing a sharpness 1. Sharpness 2 and 3 is really for like architectural or landscape. You know, sharpness 1 is perfect for people. Anything more than that, things can start to get a little crazy. It can start, start looking a little crazy. Next is noise reduction. So typically, it's kind of the same rule I have with sharpness with people with images with people in the frame. Just set noise reduction 1, set it and forget it. Sharpness 1, noise reduction 1. All right, next is the editing toolbox. So we've got remove purple fringing, which I add to every single image. Optimize lens, so this determines what lens that you have, and it optimizes for barrel distortion and for vignetting. So click on that. If you want to undo that look, you can just click that, but you can see the difference it makes. Like, look at that, it takes away the vignetting and completely removes the distortion. Vignetting, I'm a sucker for vignetting, so this is the next setting, so I'm actually going to put it back. Let me see here, and then the enhanced color. I love the enhanced color. It works for me on almost 100% of my images. I use this enhanced color. I absolutely love it. You can just see it just adds a lot of richness to the image right there. And then film grain. I don't want any film grain in the image, but this works great with black and white. So feel free to go crazy on your black and white images. It gives it an awesome high-end film grain look. Love it, love it, love it. All right, next are these AI tools. Now these are still in beta, but I think all of these are pretty awesome. So you've got 2 different sky enhancers. We got no sky in the image, so we don't really need to use that. And this is kind of your moneymaker right here, this subject enhancer. Check this out. So look at that, look at what this does. So this masks the subject, it masks the background, and applies specific settings on both of those to just make the subject pop right from the background. Check that out. Look at that's off and that's on. Look at the difference that makes. So I'm going to select that, and even better, what you can do with all of these layers right here is that you can adjust the intensity of the layer. So for me, this is a little bit too much, so I'm going to bring this down just to be able to blend the subject in the background a little bit more, and there you go. That's perfect. Now let's check out background enhancer. I do like background enhancer for this image. As you can see, it kind of brings the richness of the greens out a little bit, maybe a little bit too much, so I'm going to scale this down as well. Maybe scale it down here to like 20, and then look at that. Here we go. Okay, so now let's look at the before and after. literally that easy, guys. Editing photos doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to take a long time. You don't have to buy a million preset packs that'll make your photos look like everyone else's. True professional, high definition, color, and clarity. That's what gets you paid. That's what gets you clients. In this economy, you don't have time to waste editing photos all day. You gotta be out there drumming up new business. Or if you're a beginner looking to start a side hustle and bring in some extra cash, you don't have the years it takes to learn Lightroom. You can literally open up Lightroom for your very first time, install this toolkit, follow the 10 steps, and edit like a pro today. Don't forget to get a copy of the 60-second workflow guide where I reveal all the strategies you can implement today to cut your editing time down by 90%. Link is in the description for the guide and the toolkit itself. Thanks, guys.